I don't know if anybody's here. It's just me. Ah! I don't even know. I'm just gonna chill here. Who's here? How do I see who's here? There's one eyeball. Jamie! Hello, Jamie! You're here! Oh my gosh, there's somebody here. Can you hear me? Diana! Oh my gosh, Diana! This is like a reunion! Ha! Hello, Diana is an amazing improv artist that is just blows my mind. Are you here in LA? Abe? Oh my gosh! Okay, people are here. And Satish, hi guys! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Hi Cynthia, I don't know you in person. I haven't met you, but I met you over Facebook, which is awesome. Hi! Oh my gosh, this is so adorable. Like I see people here and I can't see you guys, but I'm here. Oh my, I'm gonna cry. This is, thanks for being here. I'm gonna be awkward still, but thank you guys for being here. I'm here early because I think that it's important to be early to any type of business function, whether it's like auditionings or anything. But I don't know if you guys have any questions for me. Do you have any questions that I can get started with? Because I'm here early and I might as well share knowledge of some sort if I have it. If I don't know it, then I won't know how to answer the question. Yeah. I think that we're gonna give people a couple of more minutes. Unless you guys have questions, ask me questions. Otherwise, I'm gonna be rambling. I moved to LA about 2 years ago, and things have been awesome. Can you guys hear me? Because I don't know. I feel like I'm talking to to myself, really. Nope, still an S. Hey, hi. Okay, here we go. Okay, I have to scroll down. So this is why I started early. I've been good. LA's been treating me awesome. I moved down here from San Francisco because they were raising my rent $200 every 6 months. And the first thing that I did here is I did a consultation with Wendy because I figured I want to work smarter and not harder as an actor. It's already hard enough to be an actor. So, consultations with Wendy helped me get me on track because the San Francisco market and the LA market are completely, they're not completely different, but there are so many differences in it that I needed to get my feet on a solid foundation in order to start working down here. Let me see if I can scroll down. And yes, you guys can hear me. That's great. Okay. So yeah, consultation going over headshots, going over, even how my actors access resume was formatted was really important because if you move down to LA, you want to be as professional as you can. Like this is like Amy Linden said last week, this is like the Olympics of acting. You are going to be toe to toe with people that are the best of the best of the best here. So you have to make sure that your ish is in order. So yeah, any type of, what do I see as new industry trends? Definitely content creation, being your own writer, director, editor. If you can learn those skills, those are really important because you want to show that you have something to give and not necessarily like if you go into a room like networking, right? And I'm horrible at networking. But if you go into a room and you're just an actor, it's almost like you always have your hand out for roles and you're always looking for somebody to give you something. So if you can learn skills like writing, making your own content, being of use to other people in the industry in a way that's not just like taking is really important. Industry trends. Yeah, so that's like one of the main industry trends that I see is that actors have to be more proactive and being their own content creators, understanding what they actually sell in the industry. So understanding what their wheelhouse characters are and really kind of niching your marketing towards that. That's what I've seen. What are the differences between San Francisco and LA markets? San Francisco is like a very warm, fuzzy way to get started in the industry. Like in San Francisco, people are in the waiting rooms and they will watch your kids for you, or they will help each other. In LA, it's really, people have the mindset, I'm gonna book the job, because the competition here is really fierce. Like, you have to make sure that you are always getting better, like constant and never ending improvement here in LA. Also, another thing that I learned in LA very quickly, very early on, is that you have to be a go-getter. So like in my UCB class, like one of my first UCB classes, I am an introvert and I hang out in the back like all the time. In my first class, when the teacher was like, okay, 8 people up, people just went up and they were just like, I am there, I'm gonna be seen. So it was a little disconcerting for me, but LA, definitely you have to hustle a little bit harder and make sure that you know, when you hustle, that you don't just spin your wheels. You kind of have to figure out how to do it smartly. Is it hard to move from theater to film and TV? I feel like they are very complementary, and they're different mediums, you know. The acting that you do in theater, like any backstory, any emotional work that you do, finding out the characters, the same that you would do in film and TV. But I feel like film and TV is, you don't have to play to the back of the room. It can be really subtle. The kids that I teach that come from a theater background, they actually are way too big for film and TV, and you just have to kind of modulate it down so that the performance is more real. They kind of do well in the transition to sitcom though, because I feel like sitcom, and you have to have like a truthful emotional base in sitcom, but it can be a little bit more theatrical, especially for mediums like Nickelodeon and Disney, and more sketch comedy stuff. So is it hard to move from theater to film and TV? I would say, make sure that if you're still in San Francisco, get involved with groups like Scary Cow, the 48-Hour Film Festival, MMTV, I think, if they're still around, because you'll be able to get real, and having that is really important to make the transition from theater to film and TV, because just really, like, you need work to show people, and if you have to create that work yourself, then you go do that. But there are student filmmaking groups, or groups like MMTV in San Francisco, or the 40-Hour Film Festival, that you can get tape or reel, or copies of your work without having to spend money on like a real production place. Let me see. Hi, Deandra. Nice to meet you. Alex. Hello, Alex. Hello. Ron Sharon. Hi. Yeah, film production 3 years in high school, and he's not in LA. That's going to serve him so well, because the trend is going towards being more of a content creator than just just being an actor. I don't know who Jillian is, but that's on. How soon should a parent consider a manager for their teen? I don't know who your teen is, and I don't know where they are acting wise, and I don't know what market they're in. So that all plays into, if they need a if you need a manager yet. I would say follow Wendy's advice. She has like 10 great tips for what you need first before you approach a manager. So part of that is getting really good headshots, getting more credit on your resume, so getting experience in front of camera, and auditioning. When they're a teenager though, they need to have a little bit more of a substantial resume than when they're younger. So like I would say, from 0 to maybe 6, what the market is looking for is like easygoing children that have a great look, that don't really have that stranger danger feature, which I, as a mother, I'm like, oh my God, like if my kid doesn't want to be with somebody else, then that is their prerogative. But, they're looking for easygoing kids when they're young like that. When they get about to 6 or 7, they need to start learning how to handle scripts, and knowing how to make emotional choices, and knowing how to listen and react, which is a huge thing. A lot of parents kind of over rehearse their kids so that when they go into the audition room, they are very stiff and they've re-rehearsed it in their head so many times that it kind of takes the life out of the performance. So a kid that, you know, knows how to listen and react to whatever their scene partner is giving them is so golden. Without knowing, you know, where your teenager is, I don't know if they need a manager yet. Is it good to be doing acting courses such as archery, rock climbing? Yes, yes, so much. Yes, not only because you want your child to have a life outside of acting, just because those are amazing skills for the zombie apocalypse. And yeah, archery, rock climbing, that's so great. You have to know if your child can handle all of that too, because there is a lot of pressure in this industry. And if there's too much, I always say, you know, like, cut back on something. Talk to your child, talk to your teenager, see where they're feeling overwhelmed. If they're not feeling overwhelmed and they love it, then why not? I mean, special skills have booked kids so many jobs. I have a kiddo, a student named Jace, who did, like, I think he did like an NBA commercial. Like, it was a really great NBA commercial where one of the NBA players like touched his hand and he doesn't wash his hand. It's somewhere on the internet. It's like one of the cutest commercials ever. But he is like a superstar athlete, and I know that experience is part of the reason why they booked him. Okay, hello, Momita, Matthew Lubier. As someone who is an actor who has passions in writing, how do you get something created with very little budget? Is there space where passion projects are? Yes. Okay. Yes. So, how do you get things produced without a budget? There are so many things that I've done without a budget, because I surround myself with creative people that love doing what they do because they love it. And what is it? Is there space where passion projects are viewed as opportunities to collaborate? Yes, I work on projects in my spare time, but being from the East Coast and New York. Okay, so it takes a while to build a network, but Facebook groups like this are an amazing way to meet other creatives. And I think there's a group here too in LA that's called We Make Movies. So I would check them out, because they also, you know, they are groups where creatives meet up together, and they, you know, I've seen them do script readings. They have like small film festivals. And be patient with yourself, because it seems like you're new to LA and your network here is small. You will meet people. Like, you will meet people down the street. And if you vibe with them, I would say don't rush also the networking kind of thing. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, like, what can we do together? You know, let's do something together, which is great. But I always like, you know, feel out for the people that really vibe on your same level. And see what you can also offer and bring to the table too. What advice do you have for building a network that may help you instead creating? Yeah, and also, you know what I do too is I offer to help out on film sets a lot. So if I have any skills, even not as an actor, just if I have any skills and I like the people, that's a big thing. You have to like the people, because you're going to be spending, you know, 10, 12, 14-hour days with these people. I will volunteer my skills, you know, in a capacity other than acting with other people, because I like them, because I want to help them. Like, there's this guy named Varut. Shout out to Varut if you're here. I don't know if you're here, but he is so funny. He's so funny. It's crazy how funny he is. I met him while doing a storytelling show, and we're both part of the UCB network. And he just reached out to me. He needed an editor for one of his series, and I was like, I can do it, because I think he's funny, and because I like his work, and because I want to support people like him. So I volunteered for that, and it was like getting to know him is really funny, and he used me in his table read, and also I ended up directing the season 2 finale of his web series, which is on YouTube, and you guys can see it, and it's really fun. But yeah, offer your skills, see what you can have to give, join Facebook groups, join groups like We Make Movies. Let me see, let's see. Okay, thanks. We are from New York City and we have an agency. Hi, Glorinda! Oh my gosh, hello! Can you really prepare a 2-year-old for auditions? Not really. 2-year-olds have a mind of their own and they're in the no stage. But you know what I love doing with kids, especially, you know, to prepare them for those personality questions that they get in commercial auditions. Like, I love asking kids all the time, like how their day was, how they felt about something. So the more that you engage with your child, I think that helps prepare your 2-year-old for auditions. But honestly, if your 2-year-old doesn't like auditions, I would not force them into the industry. They might be a really, really awesome, cute kid, but unless they really, you know, like the process of auditioning, I wouldn't do it for kids. And as actors, you guys, our whole job is auditioning, and we have to be okay with that, and we have to enjoy the process of it. Enjoy the process of figuring out who is this character and how does that character relate to me, and what does this character want? What are these characters' wants and dreams? And being okay with doing all that work and going into the audition room, doing the best possible job that you can with that, and then letting it go for our mental health. Okay. We are new to this. How do I make a reel for my kids? So I would say, you know, you can, like, before you actually go to like a reel, you know, like if you want to go to a place that makes reels, you can just put a monologue, a really well done monologue against a backdrop for them. If you guys are super new to the industry, my student Alicia did that for her actors access. She was looking for a talent manager, and that's all we did. We just put her against a very clean backdrop. We recorded her, and she got so many requests for a manager and agent, and she's doing amazing. Okay, so name of the group again, please. We Make Movies. Okay, you got it. Cool. What is the name of Varut's web series? It's Varut is on Fire. She loves it and books a lot too. Good, that's awesome. She was really funny in her last audition. Can you send me? I don't know what I do with the video, but of course you can you know, send it. I don't know what I would do with it though. I would keep it for yourself. Let me see. Any other questions there? Let me see. What a new comment. Dope. Yes. What is dope? I don't know what's dope. Okay, Varut. Oh, the Varut thing. Okay. Yeah. So hopefully that helped a little bit. Transitioning from SF to LA, I think some people needed that information. I don't know. The great thing is that you will find a lot of Bay Area people here in LA too. I was super scared when I moved down here because you have this image of what you think LA is going to be like. And yeah, it is. It is overwhelming when you first move down here, but you will find your pockets of people. And I was really scared that, you know, LA was going to be this very, like, you know, image conscious, super superficial kind of thing. And yes, it is image conscious. And I had to like up my game with my hair and my makeup. This is not normal for me. But you will find your people, and, you know, make sure that you come down here with money and with skills. You can't, like, it's not realistic to be like, I'm gonna move down there, I have 3 months of rent, and I'm gonna book my series regular. It's just not a realistic thing. I mean, it does happen for some people. It totally does. But just, you want to work smart and not hard, and also prepare for the long run. This is a marathon and not a sprint. Let me see. Can you tell me if it was a good or bad audition she was on hold but released? That might not have anything to do with if her audition was good or bad. That might just have to do if they were going to match her up with a family, you know. The fact that she was on hold is amazing. That means that she did good. So I wouldn't, you know, stress about it. And also, parents, if no matter what happens in your child's audition, please be the soft spot for them to land on afterwards. And actors, after you guys audition, me, after I audition, be very gentle with yourself, because this industry will eat you alive. And if you don't take care of your mental health, how you do a lot of self-care, You know, I always tell the parents of my kids that do the drive from SF to LA, you know, they drive like 6 hours for an audition that lasts like 10 minutes. And sometimes it can be discouraging. And if your kids feel that from you, that you're disappointed, that's not going to help them in their auditions next time. Make it a fun family time. Go for ice cream afterwards. Go to the Grove and make it a family day. Okay, let me see. Thanks so much. I'd rather pay someone to do it. I don't know. Pay somebody to do it, Melissa. I don't know. Hi! Tell Devin I said hello. Let's see. Let me see. Okay, so I was saying when you move from SF to LA, be gentle with yourself. I think that's where I was. No, have money. And also what I'm realizing down here too is that the industry is actually really small. I run into people that I've known in the Bay Area, and I know that, you know, casting directors that I know this casting director, producers that I know this casting director, and they talk to each other. So, you know, the industry is really small. As long as you keep training, you keep, you know, constantly getting better, improving your skills, I mean, like, what did Steve Martin say? You know, be so good that they can't ignore you. I kind of believe in that. Let me see. What other comments are there? Would you say that it's better to work in LA than New York for a Latino actor who is a native Spanish speaker and who has an accent in English? Omar, I don't know. I don't know the New York market. I just know that the Latin market here in LA is kind of exploding. A lot of my friends that speak Spanish are working a lot, but I can't speak to what is happening in New York. But I know that there's a lot of work down here, at least for my my friends that speak Spanish. Okay. I don't know. Melissa, what did... Oh, yeah, make a reel. Okay, gotcha. What was I saying? Okay. Yeah, if there are any questions, I'm just gonna talk. If you guys have kids in the industry, I would say one of the things that I am very big on is when I talk to parents about their kids. I get a lot of calls from parents saying, you know, like, I think my kid's really cute and I think that she wants to be on TV, he or she, or whatever. I always make it a point to ask whether or not your child has talked to you about it and has asked you about it. Because if it's something that you are just doing because somebody approached you in the mall and said, you know, your kid is cute, I would kind of take a pause and I would say maybe have your kid join, you know, musical theater classes or school theater classes, see if they like it. But until the child comes to you, or until your teenager has been bugging you for a while, mom, I want to be on TV, I want to act, and they're like already thriving in the theater scene, getting them into the industry is a huge deal. You know, it is an investment at any age. You know, whether you're a teen or a kid or an adult, it is an investment to get into the industry. So you better make sure that you love it. You better make sure that when you are acting, that is what lights you up, because this industry is super hard. They say in the beginning it's like 40 auditions to one when you first start out, and even you know, so there are so many variables in auditions that even if you do the best job possible at that audition, you may not get the role just because, you know, you're out of the age bracket, or, you know, you have to match with a family, or you look too much like the producer's ex-girlfriend or something. You don't know. Let's see. Do they really? Yes, they really do approach kids in the mall. They approach kids' parents in the mall. It's kind of like, you know, like those, I don't want to get into any libel scams or anything like that, but there used to be companies, you know, just, you know, a year or two ago that approach people in the malls and they're like, you know, your kid would be amazing at this, or there are open auditions this Saturday. We're going to have casting director, blah, 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 from Disney watching the kids. And they have an open call and they have like hundreds of kids read a short monologue, and then everybody gets a call back, and then they get a sales pitch for some like some convention where thousands of people are going to be there and they're paraded in front of people, whether or not they're ready for the industry. And a lot of parents are, you know, scammed out of thousands and thousands of dollars. They do actually do that. In fact, they were doing that when I was younger, and that's kind of where I wanted to almost like, because there wasn't a lot of information about how to get into the industry. I went to one of those and I was so excited, and I told my mom about it, and of course I got a call back because everybody gets a call back. And my mom was like, this is a scam, and she never let me do it again, so I had to wait till I was older. Let me see, what else is there? Where's the best place to get acting class in the greater Los Angeles area? There are so many really great acting schools here. I think Amy Linden, who just did a TMA Live, has an intensive coming up. Go to her intensive. She is amazing. I went to it, and she serves you lunch, and she makes you chicken, and she teaches you really great things about booking auditions. There's also Warner Laughlin, who is one of my teachers in the past, is amazing. She's like the teacher for Amy Adams and stuff, and a lot of series regulars. Let's see who else is really great. Kate Stewart McGregor, who is Marissa Tomei's acting coach, is mine, and I love her so much. Also, I teach too, but I specialize in kids and teens because I look like this, and a lot of adults don't think that I know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Anyways, other acting classes that are really awesome for improv, UCB or the Groundlings is great. You want to go with acting teachers that, especially in Los Angeles, you want to go with acting teachers that casting directors will recognize on your resume, because even if they're like a really great acting teacher, if casting directors don't have that trust that that they're great acting teachers, then it kind of means nothing on your resume. I mean, that's kind of like the harsh truth about it, but it's true. So I would not necessarily be a good person to study with in Los Angeles until more casting directors know my name as a teacher. But you know, in San Francisco, like a lot of agents and managers in San Francisco and studios know my name. Like I'm one of, if not the top kids acting coach up there. And I guess it's like I'm starting to make a name for myself here, reputation-wise. I have 2 kids that are series regulars on the Dreamworks Universal Network, Life Hacks for Kids. My student Amanda Curtis is signed with MAG, and hi Robin, if you're there. She loves you, and her brother is with Zuri, which is one of the top kids agencies too, and she's on the PocketWatch series. And then William Lipton just got on General Hospital as a recurring role as Cameron, and I think I have one more series regular, Derrick Riehl, who just booked 26 episodes of an animated series that I can't talk about. So, yeah. So Momita, okay, those are scams. Yes, the mall things. Yes, those are scams. Headshots, Tony. Who has the best headshots, or what to look for in headshots? Because there's definitely huge price ranges in headshots in LA. But you want to go for the best that you can possibly get, because if casting directors don't know your face and they're not acquainted with your work, the headshots are the first thing that they're going to look at to see if you are a professional or not. They see like maybe 25 to 50, I don't know, whatever their settings are on Actors Access, and your headshots are like teeny tiny. And if you don't have one that pops out at them, then they are most likely not going to pick you to come in, because you know, casting directors only have a certain amount of slots that they can see people for auditions. So if you don't have a good headshot, that's going to send up a red flag that you are probably not a professional actor, and you're going to waste their time. And they just don't have time to waste, especially in TV, it moves like this. So, you know, as much as you can, get really the best headshots that you can, that are in your wheelhouse, that market you well for whatever it is that you are going to be booking. Let me see. Do you have any good and somewhat affordable acting coaches? I can. I can do, like, I do Skype classes all the time, and honestly, I will give you guys a discount code. It's TFMA 50 if you guys want to book a Skype session with me for 50% off. What? Okay. Hey, it's Miguel. Miguel is an amazing DP. Yeah. Let me see. So, but there are other, you know, acting coaches on Skype that you can work with if you don't want to work with me, if this face and the way that I teach is weird. I think Wendy has a list of them posted on the TFMA group, and so you can check those out. And you should actually have them on speed dial. I've worked with a couple of them. Dan Shaner's awesome, and let's see, I work with Kate Stewart and McGregor a lot for things that I am unsure about, that I just need extra eyeballs for. Let me see. And if you want to work with me, you can go to my page, HollywoodActorsWorkshop.com. And let me see. Any other questions? Not quite yet. Okay. So something that I was going to talk about is, making your own content. So if you see behind me, no, that's the wrong way. Evidently I don't know my directions. So see this little movie right here, Unlucky Stars? We did that maybe 5 years ago. And it's an amazing action film. It's like a martial arts action comedy. I still haven't seen any fight scenes that are like compared to that. Kind of, sort of. I'm seeing a little bit. But it has really great fight scenes in it, and we made it on a super, super low budget. And it's, we got a distributor, which we're learning as indie filmmakers, about the whole distribution thing. But it opened a lot of doors. Like a lot of those actors that are in Unlucky Stars, see here, it's over there again. In Unlucky Stars, especially the martial artists and the stunt people, have gone on to do really great, amazing things. And if you see the movie, which we'll be re-releasing because we just got the rights back from it in a couple of days, you'll see some very familiar faces on there. And you'll see a lot of the fight people in there have gone on to be fight coordinators for really big shows. So but we made that like 5 years ago. Make your own stuff. Even like the short films that I make, they have gotten me into film festivals, that have put me in rooms with content creators that have given me, a lot of advice navigating this industry. So even if it's like a 5-minute short film and you're proud of it, enter it into, film festivals and go to those film festivals. And when you're networking with people there, it's not networking as an actor where it's like, give me a role, I need a role. It's more about being a colleague and being like, these are the projects that I have on my slate, and this is what I'm looking to create later, and tell me about your stuff, and see how we can collaborate and help each other out. Let me see. Okay, so that's what I'm going to talk about, making your own content. Marketing yourself, that's a huge thing. I know actors are, and just creatives in general, are scared of marketing themselves, but at one of these film festivals, somebody gave me a piece of advice. He's a showrunner, and he created this. He created this series called Eastsiders, and he told me. He said, "Talk about the thing like it's a thing until it's a thing." So, don't be afraid to believe in yourself or your project, because, you need to put that out there, but make sure that you're really proud of it and make sure it's good work, but you have to be okay with promoting yourself in that way. And that's something that's been hard for me to learn, because honestly, I'm an introvert, you guys. And if you guys were standing in front of me and I wasn't just talking to the camera and looking at my own face, I would probably be sweating, and I'm a little bit sweating right now, but that's been a lesson where I've had to learn, to be okay with promoting yourself. So if you guys don't have these postcards, if you have to make a list of, the casting directors that know you, that you've done workshops with, that you've auditioned for, and have a database for them, and know if they actually like postcards or not, how they like to be marketed to. Some casting directors don't mind if you email them, but I probably would not. I usually send postcards every time I either book something or something airs, at least once every 3 months. You don't want to get too in their face about it, but it's part of your job as an actor to make yourself known and to be proud of the work, especially if you're proud of your work, to put yourself out there. They say that it takes 7 times in different formats for people to make a face name recognition just in sales. And I think now with our whole like crazy, internet culture where we only see each other for, we only watch 3-minute clips of things, it takes even longer. So yes, postcards for everything. If you book it, if you film it, if it airs, send one out. Don't be too crazy about it. And also have business cards, you guys. Business cards with your face on them and your name on them. You have to market yourself. So, wait. Are postcards good to send? Yes, yes, because your children, they're actors as well, and casting directors need to kind of know them as well. So, if they book something, like any agency announcements, if they get signed with a new agency, you can send out postcards saying, hey, we just signed with this agency, or we're now with this management company. It helps put a face to a name. Anytime they book something, anytime something plays at a film festival, it's good to send out postcards out. There are over, I think, 300 casting directors in Los Angeles. In San Francisco, it's maybe like 10. So, it can get a little bit pricey for that. But, make a targeted list of the shows that you as an actor or your child would be right for, meaning that you can see yourself or your child fitting easily into that show. So make a targeted list and, be consistent with your marketing to them without being, creepy or pushy or like, every single week type of thing. After an audition, I would send the casting director thank you cards, just because it's nice and because everybody likes to be thanked. Some agencies are like, no, that's too much, but I just like to do it, especially if the casting director doesn't know me or who I am. So yeah, marketing is really important as an actor. Other things that you could do to be proactive in your acting career. I know this is a little bit controversial, but I take casting director workshops not even thinking that they might give me a role from it, just to learn, just to be aware of what is, what's out there. And I've been fortunate in that my first job that I got as a recurring role on ER was because I took a workshop in San Francisco with Sarah Isaacson, and she called me in, and I ended up booking that role and being a recurring role on ER for that season, and that's how I got my SAG card. So it's helped me a lot, but you need to do the workshops and know that they are educational only. Okay, it doesn't happen a lot, but work smarter, not harder. Who do we send postcards? When do we send postcards, and to whom? I would say make a targeted list of casting directors that you are a good fit for in the show, and I usually send postcards out to when I book something, when it airs, and when I'm done filming. Let me see. Do we email them? No, I would not email them. Just because they're going to get deleted anyway. And some casting directors are cool with email and they will give their email out, but it's usually not the case. So do we give it right away after auditions or shoot? I would send a thank you card after the audition, and then send a postcard out after you film it. And if you can take some cool little BTS behind the scenes pictures when you do film something, that's cool. That's kind of fun to include in a postcard. I use Vistaprint a lot, or moo.com, to make my postcards. And also another resource that I use to find the addresses of casting directors. What is that? It's actually, there's a link on Actors Access, I think, that shows you, the current mailing addresses, because casting directors are very nomadic creatures. They switch offices a lot, unless they have their own established office. They actually switch offices a lot depending on what project they're working on. So I always make sure to send it to an updated address. Let's see. Do we email them as well? Okay. I think I got all the questions so far. What else was I going to talk about? Oh, yeah. So I have a class coming up with director Jose Montesinos. See, I can't even like. Okay, so see this film right here? So I've been friends with Jose for a very, very long time, since San Francisco, and he has become like an amazing director. He was always an amazing director, but now he's getting like Lifetime movies, and he just did a movie for sci-fi. And this movie right here, Barrio Brawler, which was actually renamed to American Brawler, that was made by the Asylum Films, was the first movie that I cast for him, or helped him cast. And I'm doing a class, Q&A seminar, very much like this, you know, with him, where you can ask him any type of questions. And I'm giving away one spot to people here. So the way to join that, if you guys are interested in it, is go to my website, hollywoodactorsworkshop.com, and join the email list. And anybody that joins the email list today is going to be entered into a drawing where I can choose randomly one of the emails, and you guys will get a spot in that class. And you can ask him any questions that you want. And he is a really amazing filmmaker. Let me see, Vistaprint. What's the website for postcards again? Yeah, vistaprint.com or moo.com. Oh, here's another resource that I use, is canva.com is really great for if you can't pay a graphic designer on Fiverr to make your postcards. So that's awesome. Yeah, Canva's pretty awesome. Okay, another way that I work smarter and not harder as an actor is I intern a lot, all over the place. Because those are my skills. I have really good office skills, and I can write, and I'm a reader at a lot of casting places, not because I'm like, oh, give me a role, but because I like to see the audition process. I love that. Like, it's fun for me to watch actors come in and really see the different types of brilliant performances that they bring in. And seeing the casting process up close is really awesome too, because then you really get a sense of knowing that, you know, sometimes you can have a really amazing audition, and for whatever reason that is beyond your control, you are not going to get the role. But that shouldn't make yourself poo-poo on yourself as an actor. That should actually, what it made me do is light a fire to write and create more roles for people like myself. Here's a little pet peeve that I have, you guys. So I am currently partnered up with an actor too, and he's awesome and he's amazing, and he looks at the breakdowns and he's like, oh my gosh, I am so overwhelmed because there are so many fit for me, right? And I'll look at the breakdowns and I'll be like, okay, cool, there's like one or two like every 3 weeks maybe that says a line or two for me, and thankfully it's changing now, and thankfully shout out to John Schultz, who is the manager at Bedford Forest Management, who has been an amazing manager. He's been getting me out there for so many things, but knowing that there were so many roles for him and very few for me kind of lit a fire under my butt to be like, you know what? I'm going to be part of the change, and I'm going to make stuff for myself. And I'm going to make stuff for my friends that are people of color that really need to be showcased more because they're so funny and they're such brilliant actors, you know. Let me see. Let's see. I have a very versatile, unique look. Do you think I need a common look to book an agent? Let me see. I can't pull up your thing yet, Nina. I think looking unique is awesome. I know commercially it's, you know, there's a certain commercial look sometimes that agents are looking for. But you know what? No, I'm not going to say that, because Lemon Lime Agency specializes in very quirky looks, and they make a lot of money doing it. Do you think I need a common look to book an agent? I would say if you get headshots, make sure that you have headshots with the different looks that you can do. And Really be specific in like what your wheelhouse characters are, what you are like, you know, that if this is your character, you book it, you know. Like I know that my wheelhouse character is kind of like the weird, quirky best friend kind of thing, because that's just what I walk in the room. Also, I know that I kind of book the one that kind of messes things up, like with really good intentions, but I mess things up. Let me see. Preach. What am I preaching? Oh, about creating your own stuff? Yes. Yeah. So that is totally, you know, where the industry is moving towards. It's like actors becoming their own little digital enterprises and creating more content. And it's kind of becoming a wild west out there. If you are in the commercial world, there's a big hullabaloo going on whether or not, you know, with like 80% of the commercials going non-union and 20% of the commercials are union. And Killian, who is an amazing commercial teacher, so Killian, check him out. He's been doing so much work on behalf of actors. There's a lot of companies out there that are paying actors really, especially non-union actors or people that aren't in the industry, really small fees for like national commercials, and they're like buyouts. I remember there was like a commercial happening in the Bay Area where they brought in SAG background people, so it's a SAG commercial, but the principals were non-union, and the principals were like, oh my gosh, this is so great, I get $2,000 for the day, right? And like I heard that and I was like, oh my gosh, you know, like this, if they show this nationally and it's a buyout, you know, you are losing out on like thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars from this commercial. I don't know how they structured it, because I know like the background actors were SAG, but we could not show our faces, you know. And the SAG background rate for commercials is pretty good. It's like $3 something a day. But that was like years ago in the Bay Area. I don't know, like it's kind of crazy now what's happening from what I hear, where most of the commercials are going non-union. Let's see. That's what made me write my feature film. Hi, Kate. The endless no good parts. Yeah. No parts from no new stories. I thought, yes, Kate, do it up. Create your stories, because the thing that I've also realized being down here is that there are an infinite amount of stories to tell. And one of the quotes that I've kind of been thinking about is that until the lion learns how to write, all the stories will glorify the hunter. I think it's an African proverb, and we really need to take charge and write these stories and become more proficient at the filmmaking side of things, because unless we learn how to do that, the industry is not going to change. We have to be the change. We have to. Yes, please write more stories. Okay, thank you. I wonder that's the reason why. I thought maybe they didn't know what to do with my look based on my headshot. Yeah, when you work with an agent and a manager, it's also important to constantly be adjusting your materials to see if they are working for you or not. And that might be a process too. Like when I first got to LA 2 years ago, my headshots, even though they were shot with like a really great photographer and I love them, I realized that they didn't show it. They weren't working with what I was actually giving in the room. Like they looked way too old for me. I am in my 30s, but I'm not going to book in my 30s, because I've been going into auditions and I've been like, they'll have me read and they'll be like, oh, can you read for the RA? You know, can you read for the resident advisor in college? Oh, can you read? Oh, that was great, but can you read for like the dorky, you know, what is it? What was the last one that I just did? I just went in for one where it was like, you know, like a more gravitas, like secretary role, but then they were like, oh, can you read for the disgruntled escape room employee instead? So, you know, like constantly receiving feedback from your marketing material helps you to really find a niche where you are. So after, and this is what I teach my kids too. After you audition and you act, you know, you do your best work, you audition, your act, always assess, you know, what you did in the room and adjust, you know, for next time. So even you have to do that for your marketing materials as well. If your marketing materials aren't working for you, then you need to figure out, okay, so what is it? What is it about these things that aren't working for me? And go with the, you know, try different things that you haven't before. Like my manager is asking me to do headshots more like the character that I played on the Amazon series that I'm in, which I am going to do. Once I figure out what my outfit is going to be and a photographer that I like. Okay. I love that, Kate. Oh, about the stories thing. It's sorry, you guys, it's so delayed. Sometimes I don't know, like it's back and forth. But yeah, constantly assess, audition, assess, and adjust. And also, you know, I tell my kids, always think about what you did that was awesome, and also think about what you can adjust, because sometimes as actors, we are super hypercritical of ourselves already. So I always want them to think about what they did that was awesome as well in their audition. Whether it's just like, you know, I just showed up. I showed up for this audition, and I was present, and I was there, and I did it, and I did my best. Even if that's the only thing that is awesome, you got to give yourself a pat on the back for that. And then, you know, adjust, like, you know, whether it could have been like, you know, I could have used somebody else that would have impacted me deeper as my person, you know, that I'm photoshopping on the reader, you know. Let me see. Yeah. So if you guys don't have any other questions, 68 comments, is there anything else that you want me to talk about? I feel like the reason why I'm really good with kids and teens is because I am a big old goofball with them, and creating a safe space for them to work. I don't know. Somebody passed away from ER? I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to look that up now. Okay. I didn't know that there was somebody else that passed away. I wasn't. See, I'm like already like, who could that be? Yeah, I don't know. I was only there for season 11. So my season was the last season that I think Noah Wiley was on. Oh no, somebody died from ER. Okay, I'm gonna stop thinking about that. What was I talking about? I was talking about creating a safe space for kids to do their work. So not only do I simplify kind of like the steps for them on how to you know, we as actors use big words like objectives and, you know, like backstory and, you know, pre-scene and stuff like that. I kind of try to make it very, very simple for them, where I'm like, okay, so let's make memories about this. And make memories that affect you viscerally. And, you know, I will say the word viscerally because I want them to have a very good vocabulary, but things that affect you on a body level when you're making your backstory. Let's think about, you know, who you can make this person to you. And instead of using the word objective, I'm like, okay, so what is it that you want in the scene? That's really what you want to go after. What is it that you want? Let's see. And then also being open with the kids, you know, emotionally, showing them that it's okay to feel sad feelings or, you know, be angry, because it's so much in our real lives, we shut those feelings down. And as actors, I feel like it's our job to show our soul, to show those feelings that we don't normally want to show other people. And that's where our work as actors can heal the world, because it's like, you know, creating the space where all feelings are justified and validated, and we can understand from somebody else's point of view why they're going through those things. So creating that space for kids and teaching them how to kind of shake it off too. And so that they don't have to hold on to those, if we're working on a really emotional scene, they don't have to hold on to those really sad, deep, dark, angry feelings, that they can let it go. And every moment can be new. It's a huge thing that I like to teach kids. and why I love teaching kids, because their imaginations are so amazing. Yeah, so let's see. She played a nurse for a very sad, for many reasons, very, very sad story. I'll have to look it up afterwards. Thank you, Kate, for letting me know that, but I don't know who that is. I'm gonna look it up afterwards. Okay, I'm getting on an hour. Are there any questions, last minute questions that you might have to? Yeah, that is the sort of space that benefits adults too, just creating a safe space for people to work in, where they feel free to feel all the feelings and allow it to just flow through them. Yeah, I think as actors, there was a quote. I'm very big on quotes, you guys. There's a quote that says that we have to be as vulnerable as butterflies, but have the skin of a rhinoceros to be in this industry. I think that is where our, that's where healing can come from, is, if we truly show our soul to the world, that is where humanity can connect. I know I'm being super like cheeseball and super fluffy and super, woo-woo right now, but I feel like, that's the way that acting and storytelling heals the world, where we see that we have this commonality with each other and we have all these shared experience. We have felt every single emotion that you can feel, from like utmost rage to like, like deep awe. By the time that we're 5, we've felt all those emotions. We've held them all in us. They're all in us. So just creating a space for those to be recognized and acknowledged is really important for kids and adults, too. Name of my website one more time: HollywoodActorsWorkshop.com. 2-year-old. Your 2-year-old has done multiple commercials, a student film, military family moving to Japan for 2 years. Will it be hard to get back into the industry after a break? Your child is only 2. I think that it's going to be fine. Make sure that you guys are okay as a family, A lot of people are like, even like kids, it's so crazy. Some kids are like, 11, they're like, is it too late for me to join? Am I too old? I'm like, no, it's not too old. Even if you are in your 50s or 60s or 70s, it's never too old. If you feel like you have a passion for this industry, you can get started. I mean, like maybe in your 50s or 60s, there was, I forget what her name was. Her name was Catherine something, but she started in her 50s and she got a recurring role on, like, I think The West Wing or something. And her story is so inspirational to me because she followed what she loved, Quote away, I love quotes, especially the lion one. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Oh my gosh. So your 2-year-old child is going to be 4 when you come back from Japan. If it's only a 2-year term, it's going to be fine, let him or her be a child, take care of your family. And if, they want to go into the industry and they bug you about it, then cool. Like, it's not too late, And besides, like, kids, they need to update their materials anyway, pretty much every year, because they grow so fast. So you're totally fine. Yes, 50s and 60s, yes. You know what we need, Kate? We need more parts written for 50s and 60s. I think we need, like, another Golden Girls, because I love that show. Susan Boyle. I think she was an opera singer. Yes, Catherine Houston, that's right. Yes, Kate. Yeah, that's totally what I was thinking of. And also, like, one of my older students, I did have a student in his 60s. His name, shout out to Steve Spone, if he's out there. But he was in my class for a while, and he actually got a lead role in a Filipino film that was really cute. It was called Edsa Woolworth. It was made by, was it GMA or TFC? I don't remember. I don't remember the production company. But it was a huge deal in the Philippines. And because he got a leading role as Papa Frank, he kind of became iconic in the Philippines. And he got to tour the Philippines with that movie as Papa Frank. and they took him, the studio took him to all like the really cool beaches, and they had a press tour. And the friend that he brought on, Lee, actually uh, actually got married to the lead star of that movie, Pokwang, who is a huge star in the Philippines, and he's like living the celebrity life. So that was like an awesome experience to have, and he didn't start until he was later. Alice and Janet made it later. Yes, I love her too. You know what I've been doing too is I've been starting like vision boards. So I'm super woo you guys, of older actors and actresses that I love and would like to emulate. Like, because I don't want to believe that my career is going to stop at like 30 or 40. I want to be a creator of roles of people that are older too. I want, they live full, happy, amazing lives as well. Yeah. Lady in the Black Panther. Yes, the lady in the Black Panther started in her 80s and now she's in Black Panther. Yes, and she's iconic and she's being recognized for being in Black Panther. Okay, yeah. So I have about 15 minutes before I have to go teach my one-on-one classes, you guys. I hope that this has been enlightening. If you have any more questions for the last 14 minutes, let me know, because I am here. Till date, my favorite audition ever is of Susan Boyle. She was awesome. Like, I gotta say, gotta give her props for that. Let me see. So if you're just joining us, you're 14 minutes in. We've talked about so much stuff. I ramble like a lot, and I apologize for rambling, but that's who I am. You know what I'm gonna tell you guys? A really great, I would love to have you as guests on my talk show. Really? Okay. I don't even know what the talk show is, but okay. Thank you, Andrew, for my energy. This is just me normally. I'm a weirdo. What I was going to tell you about before I lose my train of thought is Talent Link on Actors Access has helped a lot of my students get agents and managers in the LA area, so take advantage of that. Make sure that you have a really good package, so really great headshots that showcase your wheelhouse of characters that you are perfect to play. Your resume is great, and that you have a good reel or a good demo on there. And if you're a child, you can probably use monologue, which is what Alicia did. But Talent Link on Actors Access, it's not very easy to find. I think you have to call somebody named Jessica. I don't remember what her last name is, but you have to search on there for it. And a lot of my friends, since I've told them about that, they've gotten agents and managers because their packages were amazing. But it's only $35 for a month, and they send out your package to the different agents and managers that are looking for talent, and are looking to fill their rosters with new talent. So for those of you that are looking for agents and managers, that's a really good resource, and you don't have to spend hundreds of dollars on a showcase. Let's see. Yes, but I ramble quotes, but that's okay. Yes, I do ramble quotes. I live by quotes. I love quotes. It helped me. How to get people to write about you or interview you? I don't know. I have a show on Amazon that actually just got picked up on Amazon in February. So this show that I did it 4 years ago, and it's a LGBTQ show. So it's already a niche show, and it was very hard to find the funding for it. The creator of the show hired me for her first film, and that's how I got my Best Supporting Actress nomination. So we've been, we're friends, and she created this series, and she did the pilot for it, and it took a while to get episodes 2 through 10 made because she had to find funding for it. But she did that, and I think, it's like 4 years ago, but it's only now been picked up on Amazon. So I think that's part of the reason why people write articles about me. Also because as a business owner, as a kids acting coach, my students have booked really amazing things, which is kind of unheard of. Like I said, like 2 of my kids have their own show on Life Hacks for Kids on the Dreamworks Universal Network. My kids are signed with the top, LA and San Francisco agents. I have a kid at General Hospital, and I have a kid that just booked 26 episodes of an animated series, and I have studios that call me as an acting coach for their kids and teens. So maybe that's why I get articles written about me. I don't know. Ashley! Oh my gosh, Ashley, you guys. Ashley's amazing. She's an amazing improv artist, and she creates opportunities for herself, and she creates opportunities for other people, which is huge. So for the person that was asking, how do you create a network of people that create stuff? Take Ashley's example, because she is just a connector of people. Let me see. What is your opinion on kid actors and social media, especially IG? I started my son's, but I monitor it. I would say be very careful, because there are some crazies and gross people out there. Make sure that the people that you surround your kids with, that they are on the Child Protective Services database, because I know a lot of managers and acting coaches and photographers that work with kids aren't on there. There's only like 297 people registered on there in the state of California, and I don't know why there's such that low, because it's only to protect the kids. It's for a background check and stuff like that. But as far as social media and stuff, Corey Ralston, actually, who is a manager on the Child Actors 101 group, doesn't care for it, which is cool. I love hearing an opinion like that from somebody that is professional, because it's like they're kids. They don't need to have that. Other people, I've heard that it does make a difference in getting your kids into audition rooms. I would say, as a parent, monitor it very closely and always be in charge of it, because there are just some cuckoo people out there. It does help at some times, like I have heard, some producers and directors being like, so what's your social stats? And that can be annoying, but some kids, they have really great social stats. Some of my kids, some of my students, they have huge followings, and because of these huge followings, that's why they get these roles. Not only are they amazing actors, but they have really huge followings, like Slay West. She is so cute and so awesome and very talented. She has a huge following, and I know that also speaks to the producers and directors that have hired her for a couple of films. Ashley, you think I'm amazing? I think you're amazing. Just messaged you. I can't add you. Kids won't need social media. Oh my gosh, yes, I know Kate McGregor Stewart. She's amazing. He's actually not allowed to be on it unless I'm with. Yes, good. Please block any DMs, any weirdness. I personally, I don't really, think that kids should be obligated to have social media accounts, because it's, especially since a lot of the Instagram stuff is curated and it's not real life. I understand its purpose, but like for kids in social media, I already think that we're in such a, competitive industry. To have any more competition is kind of weird on the children's psyches, and I am very big on keeping the kids, happy, and very, this business is already too crazy, and being a soft spot for them to land on, where it's you have them be in the industry as long as they want to do it, as long as it makes them happy, as long as it still makes their heart sing. There is some cases of parents being ridiculous on social media, and they're even trolling other kids' accounts, which is so bad. I don't understand it, but it does happen. So you as a parent are your first line of defense for your child. So please be that line of defense. I understand that some, social media is necessary, but just be very careful with it. Let me see. So, let me see. Keith Andrew says kids won't need social media. I just know that, it helps some kids, and some people are against it, and you have to make your own decision on that as a parent. Sophia's, which scares me, because she's only 2. She has 14K followers on IG, and she's only 2? Oh my gosh, that is crazy. Okay, Good, monitor it. Please monitor it. It bothers my psyche, and I'm not. It bothers my psyche, and I'm not a kid too. You know, I'm trying to learn. Let's see. Yes. Yeah. You know what? I feel like not just like women of color or people of color having, you know, having more exposure in the media. I think people with disabilities or disabilities, because I don't like, you know, need to be showcased as well. Yes, 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 yes. I'm able to people learning who are dealing with any types of learning disability and never give up and prove people wrong no matter what. I love that. Yeah. Never give up. There's an actor that I met in San Francisco a long time ago that is awesome, and he's doing awesome. And he has a disability, but I don't really think of it as a disability because he's kind of awesome. And so I don't even see him with a disability, but he's been on that show with the motorcycles, with the biker gang. I don't even know what that is right now. My brain's like right now. And he just got as a series regular on another show. I can't remember his name, but he was also in that movie with the dolphins. This is absolutely horrible. I don't remember any of this. Let me see. I'm sorry, bother you. I don't know what Keith is saying. Okay. I don't know what that means. I don't think you're bothering me at all. You're sharing your information, which is awesome. Okay, you guys, I am headed into 1 hour and 11 minutes and 36 seconds. I have 4 minutes before I have to go teach you guys. So quick questions. So, yes, Sons of Anarchy. That's all. Kate, you are saving me today. You are totally saving me. Hit me up when you can. Send me a DM. I think there's like a hidden folder somewhere in Facebook for people that aren't, you know, friends or whatever that is. Yeah, and I'll take a look at it. Also, if you guys want to follow me on IG, if you guys want to do that, it's GeoSpirit2, GIOSPIRIT 2, number 2, on the IGs, and then Twitter, GeoSpirit. And then my coaching website is HollywoodActorsWorkshop.com. And again, you guys, I'm doing a giveaway. So if you sign up for my email list, I am going to pick somebody to be a guest in one of the Q&A seminars that I'm doing with, let's see, I'm getting that messed up again, with Jose Montesinos, who is the director of that movie and 4 Lifetime movies and a sci-fi movie called Frenzy. So, yeah. Let me see. So, yes. We got 2 more minutes, guys. 2 more minutes. Keith Andrew Network. Keith Andrew 88. I'm just gonna shout out to you because I'm just reading the comments here. Anything else that I can think of to share with you guys? It is a marathon, not a sprint. Do this because you love it. Work smarter, not harder. Constant and never-ending improvement, which I stole from Tony Robbins, but it's totally true. This industry is constantly changing. It's constantly changing, and if you don't keep up with it, it's just gonna roll right over you. Is that online or in person? So I do online classes, you know, one-on-one Skype or FaceTime sessions. If you're in Australia, then I guess we would just do a time difference thing. And then in San Francisco, I do drive up twice a month to teach kids and teens. Look forward to working with you. I look forward to you guys too. My daughter's 13. She's, oh my gosh, Amy, yes, you know, you have to be the soft spot for your daughter to fall on, because a lot of my, you know, boy actors, they work a lot, and it's just because of the supply and demand in the industry. So it's like, you know, there are more, even as an adult actor, there are more parts for guys than there are for girls, yet there's more women actors or girl actors than there are guy actors, so it just creates this crazy imbalance. So be the soft spot for your daughter to land on. You know, encourage her to create her own stuff where she can be the protagonist of the story. You know, what can I tell her? Yeah. Create her own stuff. that's like, you know, be the change that we need in this world. She is super talented. Yeah, so many of my girl students or you know, teenager students are so talented, but they're just not the roles out there right now. And that's why I think it's really important to create your own work and get her into writing classes. Or, you know, if she doesn't have the proclivity to be a writer, find a friend who is. I have you know, a girl named Natalie in my class, and she is an amazing actress, like amazing. She's so good, right? And she just hasn't done the LA thing because her parents are psychologists and they work, you know, very very structured days, and they can't take off in the middle of, you know, they can't take off and go to LA on a last minute audition. So she's been very patiently waiting till she's older to actually start in the industry, even though she's a phenomenal actress. But what she is doing is that she is writing scripts for her and her friends. So yes, we are trying to change that. So encourage her to write and create things with her friends. He has filmed 14 times. She's filmed 7 times. That's still pretty amazing, though. Even though her brother is working more, she still has 7 times. If you can, you know, it's as a parent, if you can lift her spirits by maybe, you know, also playing her stuff, that's great. You know, like, because just the reality of the situation is that there are more guy parts and a dearth of, is that the right word? You know, not enough guy actors or boy actors to fill it, especially in the ages of 11 to 13. Like, once if they're in that sweet spot and they're a boy and they're an actor, they work all the time. Local filming, not much, but still, it's amazing. It's amazing that you're getting that much work. Thank you for everything today. It was very helpful. Hopefully, yeah, I helped you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm late. Okay, it's 6:02, you guys. I gotta sign off. You know, bug me, HollywoodActorsWorkshop.com. Thank you to Wendy and TFMA. Hopefully this has been helpful for you guys. Yeah, bug me. Oh yeah, if they compete in dance, he's like a double, triple threat. That's crazy. But so much luck to you guys. I am going to be signing off because I have to teach. Again, discount TFMA 50 if you guys want to book a one-on-one session with me. And then if you guys join my email list, I am giving a spot away in my class with Jose Montesinos, but I really have to go, you guys. Okay, bye. Nice to meet you. And hopefully this has been helpful. Bye.